Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's vlog. Autumn is officially here in full swing. In some ways, I feel like I missed most of October because I have been sick. You might be able to still hear it in my voice, but I still did some stuff, right? Life still goes on as a mom, always. So I did a lot of stuff around the home and I did lots of cooking. So let's hop right in. So this has been my go-to breakfast lately, and that is making crispy fried eggs. So I put some tallow in my pan and I had originally sauteed up some peppers, and then I cracked in 3 eggs. I eat 3 to 4 eggs basically every single morning. And then I put some everything but the bagel seasoning on top, some salt. And to lift my mood, I lit some candles because we are officially in the cloudy, dark months, guys. So it's time to switch to those cozy vibes. And so I did have candles lit at the top of the day. Some of my favorite candles, by the way, are Ginger June. I have mentioned them before. Once the bottom of the eggs are crispy, I literally use my scissors to cut the eggs apart and flip them, but I turn the heat off because I don't want the yolks to cook. I throw some cheese on the back and then I immediately take them off the pan and flip the eggs back down, cheese underneath so that it melts with the residual heat. I throw on some red chili pepper flakes, some more salt, and then I sat and I browsed through this True Roots cookbook while I ate my breakfast. Now, even though the cold weather can kind of get to me, honestly, the sunny days or when the sun pokes out in the fall is probably my favorite scenery all year around. Everything is so dramatic and bright looking and I love it. And I had to capture this footage on our daily walk. Logan loves this skeleton that's up in our neighborhood because he is currently obsessed with David and Goliath. So he likes seeing that skeleton, tells Lizzie the story when we pass it, imagines that that is the size of Goliath. It's really cute, guys. So once we got home and Lizzie went down for her nap, it was time for me to clean. I've talked about this before, but I legitimately feel like my tiny house gets so messy so fast. Now, granted, guys, I know I am not the most organized, clean person on the planet. I think if you've been watching my channel for a long time, you know that. Some people might say I'm even a little bit gross. I don't hold that label, okay? But point being is, I'm not the most organized, clean person. But I swear, guys, having kids makes it even more challenging. Even the most organized, clean people I know will tell me, no, it is challenging to keep anything clean and picked up with very little babies. And I feel that, man. I feel the struggle. And then when you're fighting sickness as well, it's hard to just be on top of it. It's hard to be on top of your clean game. But this felt so good on this day to just quickly set my timer for 20 minutes, get everything picked up, put away, give my stovetop and my counters just a quick little, I say swish and swipe. I don't know if you guys watch The Fly Lady, but she is an inspiration to me. And probably one of the biggest ways that she's an inspiration to me is her saying swish and swipe. Just saying that when you're going to clean, you're giving things a swish and a swipe is a huge breakdown of a mental barrier to cleaning, because just doing something is better than doing nothing. So that's what I was doing on this day. Now, at this point, it was time to make Logan a lunchy snack plate. And so I just kind of pulled together some random things quickly because I wanted to keep going while Lizzie was asleep. So I scooped him some Greek yogurt with a little bit of raw honey on top. That's how he likes his yogurt, just plain with honey, stirred in. I pulled him a little clementine for the side, and then I got out a chomp stick. We really like chomp sticks in this house. Maybe it's a bit of waste because we weren't traveling when we were here, but I needed something quick, because at this point, it was time for me to pump. Now, I've mentioned this before. I am still a full-time pumping mom for Lizzie. I don't foresee her stopping anytime soon, though I'm really hoping she will wean by the time she's 2 years old in April. But at least once a day, I have to do my long pump, which always happens on my LVs. So all of my other pumps in the day are about 10 to 15 minute pumps on my Spectras, but my LVs, I put in 40 minutes. And while I am pumping with my LVs, I kept the cleaning flow moving forward and I did the dishes. I had a lot of pots and pans that needed to be scrubbed. And man, this is when LVs are just fantastic. To be able to pump while cleaning is a gift. And while I was doing that, Logan was play raking the leaves in the front yard. And I decided at this point I wanted to dye my roots. So I actually didn't get footage of me dyeing them. I thought I was going to. I didn't. But if you're curious, this is the brand I use to touch up my roots. And I can do this at just this dye by itself for like honestly a year. Like just the touching up of my roots keeps my hair colored till I do a full dye at a salon again. I don't think I had the dye in my hair at this point. Maybe I did. I don't know. But I was folding my laundry. I was a little bit backed up. I also had to show you this shot of this jacket that I got for Lizzie at the Just Between Friends sale, which is a consignment sale I go to twice a year, and I buy them pretty much all of their clothes from that sale. I really wanted to do a haul for you guys, but I just didn't have it in me. To be honest, that's the only thing I've done this month. I really have just been in my house all month recovering. But at that point, when the sale came around, I knew I wasn't contagious anymore, or at least I was very confident. And like I said, I get pretty much all of their clothes from that sale. So we made our way out, but I just didn't have the energy to do a haul. Just know I got a lot of cute stuff, including that jacket. And then at this point, I took my LV pumps off. I got a lot out of it. The way that I use my LV pumps, I've altered them. I've mentioned this before. I put these pumping pads in the breast shield, and it makes it so that I get just as much out of my LV pumps as I do my Spectra. It took a little bit of finagling early on when I started using them, but they're amazing. And I don't know that I could be a full-time pumping mom without both of my pumps. Just my Spectra or just my LV, I don't think I would have made it through. So once I did my laundry, folded my cloth diapers, I decided to make a cup of elderberry tea. I guess that's what we can call it. I just poured some elderberry syrup, some raw honey, lemon juice, and hot water in a cup, and I sipped on it. And then a couple days earlier, I had decided to make these oatmeal lactation cookies, because when I had been first gotten sick, maybe 2 weeks earlier, my milk supply completely disappeared, just gone. So I decided this would be a fun, uplifting, encouraging, happy way to try to increase my supply. This is one of the many things I did. So it took me a couple days to bake the cookies though, because I was just busy doing stuff. But on that day, I baked the cookies. Now, we know my footage is a little all over the map. I don't think this was the same day, guys. I think this might have been the next day. But I realized I had not made my date candy in a while, I don't know, a couple months. And by the way, I will try to remember to link this in the info box. I have a little mini recipe book where I share exactly how to make this candy. I call it brown butter date candy. It is so good. And it's another thing that I eat kind of, whether this is true or not, everyone, okay, kind of in the spirit of keeping my milk supply up. It's just full of nutrition and calories, really. Let's just be real. And it's so good. So you start by laying your dates down flat in the parchment paper. Oh, I never finished that thought. I will try to link to the recipe book in the info box. If you want to check it out, I'll have it there, but I'm still going to talk you through this. So you start by smushing your dates flat, and you brown a stick of butter on the stovetop. So then I decided to sprinkle some hemp seeds, and I had, thank God, because I was out of nuts, I had some, and this is an essential part, honestly, is laying down the candied nuts. I had some nuts that I had candied in maple syrup previously in the freezer. So I poured those over the dates. And once the butter was browned, which you'll know it's done when the butter stops cracking in the pan and it becomes a light brown color, I transferred it to a glass dish to cool off, because you don't want to pour the butter when it's super hot on the dates. So I scooped all of that in the glass bowl so that it could cool for a bit before I did that. And once it had cooled, I poured the brown butter all over the dates and the nuts and the hemp hearts, and really tried to coat every corner, because this brown butter, man, it tastes like caramel, and you just want that in every bite. So I threw that in the freezer, and then I took this cowboy colostrum and a dash of cinnamon, as well as some coconut oil that I had thrown into a glass bowl over the pot, and a couple chocolate chips, and I stirred all of that together. Now, this is the first time that my mixture ended up being kind of lumpy, so that was kind of weird, but spoiler alert, it did not affect the final product at all. It was all so delicious. So once the butter had gotten a chance to freeze and I had made my chocolate mixture, I pulled that back out of the freezer, poured the chocolate all on top, kind of tilted the dish back and forth to get the chocolate everywhere, put some Maldon sea salt, of course, on top of all of the candy, and then threw it back in the freezer. And once it had frozen and I pulled it out, I cut the candy into bars and little blocks. And for real, guys, it's so delicious. Now, fast forward to, I believe this was dinner that night. I had a bunch of peppers from a local farm stand because when they were in season, I just bought up a ton. And at this point, they were all going to go bad. I wasn't cooking them when I was sick. So I stir-fried them all up, as well as some carne asada that we had picked up from Costco. Also, I was making the babies a quesadilla in that other pan, so that's what you see happening there. I had some Siete almond flour tortillas in the freezer that I needed to use, so I just made them quesadillas for dinner. But I was heating up our carne asada and our peppers. They were destroying our couch and trying to build a wall to pretend to be Humpty Dumpty. And then we were making burritos. So I just want to say, putting sour cream in your burrito makes it elite. Just throwing that out there. And then I laid down my carne asada, my beans that I had in my pantry from Siete. I believe those were refried beans. I threw down the peppers that I had grilled from the farm stand, some sliced in half cherry tomatoes, as well as some grated Tillamook cheddar cheese. And then I rolled up my burrito, which I fold in the outside and then fold up from the bottom, so all of it gets layered in the center, and then I pull it back, as you can see right here, to make it as tight as possible. These tortillas, by the way, I know you guys have instructed me and I still have not figured out. Also, I was sick, but I still have not figured out how to make good burrito tortillas. Someone left a comment with a really good recipe. I screenshot it and I lost it. So if that's you and you want to leave that comment again, it's probably annoying for you to do that, but I'm just throwing this out there. Feel free to do so. I know I didn't get a beauty shot of it at the end. Just trust me. It was really good. Frying your burrito is like amazing. Chef's kiss. So, and I believe this is the next day and we were making a totally different dinner. It's this like viral oniony pasta that I wanted to make, but I needed to get some herbs from the garden. So I went out, thought I'd show you some fall scenery, grabbed some fresh sage, and I have seen multiple people make a version of this pasta dish online. So we took a swing at making our own version, and I started off by cutting up 3 onions. A local farm stand, once again, had a ton of onions available, and so I had bought a bunch. So I'm like, this is perfect. This is what we're going to do. So I cut up the onions, put a whole bulb of garlic, as well as a whole jar of sun-dried tomatoes. I threw in a couple leaves of sage and a bunch of fresh thyme. I also sprinkled in or dusted in some paprika, some smoked paprika, some salt, pepper, and tossed everything together a bit. Threw it in the oven to really bake and caramelize and turn beautiful. Oh, it smelled so good. And then I let that sit and cool so that I could deconstruct, like take the garlic out of the bulbs. And while that was cooling down, I grilled some chicken. This pasta, usually when you see it, there's no protein in it. And I know we're eating like carby, fatty deliciousness here, but I wanted to add some protein to the mix. So I did a dry rub of some Italian seasoning on chicken and then grilled that up. And once I had taken all the garlic out of like the bulb and, you know, everything had cooled down, I started to blend my sauce. So I kind of alternated between working on the sauce, grilling the chicken, and just used my immersion blender once I had added in the cream to the mix to kind of make everything smooth. It didn't need to be perfectly smooth, but I wanted it to be, you know, pretty smooth. So I blended all of that up. As you can see, we were also boiling water for the noodles. This sauce, guys, it was as good as everyone said. At first, I was a little like, is it? And we ended up having leftover sauce. As you can see, by the way, I just added some Parmesan to the mix and some red chili pepper flakes. Though in retrospect, I would have added Calabrian peppers because we've actually made this again since then. And we did Calabrian peppers in there and it's just so good. I also threw in some, when it was all done, some fresh basil and some lemon juice. And once again, dude, when I'm sick, I think especially, but just in general, I have a hard time getting beauty shots at the end because I'm just so excited to eat it. But it was so good. And I ate the leftover sauce with like bread and bagels for like a solid week. It was so delicious. Also, this is what I mean, guys, about the beauty of fall. So on this afternoon, my mom actually watched Lizzie while she napped so that Logan and I could go out and have a little alone date at the library. So we actually got a burger that day as well at Rogers. But we sat down next to the fireplace at the library and we went through and read like, I don't know, 5 to 7 books. Logan loves reading. Like, you know those memes where it's like, how I imagine reading to my child, and then the child's like going insane while you're reading and they're not listening. Logan is the opposite. He is like high energy, full of life, sometimes has a hard time sitting still, except for when it's reading time. He loves it. More fall foliage and time spent in my parents' jacuzzi. I thought this was not only so cute because Lizzie's game that day was throwing rocks into the jacuzzi. Don't worry, we fetched them all out, but she looked so cute, and the fall foliage was just so fall. Their view in their backyard is like stellar. Just had to share this with you. The turkeys are back. This is about the time of year when they start wandering out to visit us all. So cute. All right, beautiful fall colors. It's amazing. I am on my way to my parents' house, the long trek next door, to use their PEMF bed, because holy moly, my back is killing me. Do they know that their fence is open? Good news, it was just my dad rummaging, packing all the boxes in the trash. Anyways, we have been sick for I have been sick, honestly, for like a solid 3 weeks. Me and the kids. Really, almost 6 weeks, because we had that norovirus a while ago. But I've kind of thrown my back out from all this coughing. I got like 5 hours of sleep last night and then was just coughing like crazy. And oh wow, this is like a look. I couldn't get to sleep till midnight because I was coughing so much. And then I was up at 5:20, 5:30 because I was coughing so much. And my back hurt, and I tried to lie up, which helped with the coughing a bit. But then my back was killing me. So I'm going to do this PEMF bed. It helped a lot the other day. And we're going to the doctor's this afternoon, actually, because this sickness has just been a little too long, you know? Hi, pups. Good morning. All right, so we're getting set up here. So, to those of you that don't know, probably most of you don't know, I don't know how much I've actually talked about this. My parents have like a full-blown wellness room in their house. Where's the camera? I'm looking at the wrong way. There it is. They have a full-blown wellness room in their house. And actually right here, as you can see, they've got this PEMF bed. And my mom actually had her red light welded by Dan onto a stand that hangs over her PEMF. So she's able to do her PEMF bed while her red light is on. So I don't know enough about PEMF to tell you literally anything about it in this video. So you can go ahead and look it up if you're into it. But it has, it's not that I haven't been a believer in it. It's that I don't know anything about it, like I said. And haven't seen a ton of results from using it in the past, except we have on like immediate injuries, like acute injuries. I think that's what you would call it. So like Dan has had some injuries on his wrists before and hands. Using it has helped like immediately. Probably the most miraculous thing we've seen from it was when Logan got a concussion like a year ago. And he was just puking. It was like 3 days straight of just puking. Oh, you're fine. I'm actually just vlogging, talking about it. And he was puking for like 2-3 days straight, and nothing would fix it, and couldn't even keep ice cubes down. And then he ended up using the PEMF on his head, and by the time he was done with the PEMF, he wanted a hamburger. So kind of crazy. And I used this the other day, and at first I didn't think it really helped my back. But Dan was like, just give it like an hour or two, like after I was done. And he was right. After a couple hours, my back felt significantly better. But my back is now much worse this morning after a night of coughing and retching in bed. So I'm going to use this for a bit before Dan heads off to, I keep looking back and forth, keep thinking the camera's over there, before Dan heads off to his job. And then, like I said, me and my mom and Lizzie are going to head to the doctor's this afternoon. Cold season. Hopefully this is like our one major sickness of the cold season. That's what I'm praying for and hoping for, because cold weather is just getting going, and I'm like, oh man, we don't want more of this. So we'll see. That's that. I'm gonna do 15 minutes here. So yeah, guys, that is it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please keep my family in your prayers as we are all still trying to heal from this sickness. And if you're just having a hard time in life right now, I pray that you are able to lean on the Lord and feel his peace, and to just keep swimming. I love being able to show up here on YouTube when I can, and I will, God willing, see you guys back here soon with another new video.